This is Shelley Craft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're coming to you live from the LD Micro 11th Annual Main Event in Bel Air, California, 2018. I have with me today Brent Charleton from EnWave Corp. It's a publicly traded company on the TSX-V, and the symbol is ENW. Brent, welcome to SNNLive.
Thanks for having me, Shelley. Excited to be here.
Good to have you. Let's get started with a brief overview of the company, and we'll go from there.
Sure. Well, EnWave Corporation is commercializing a patented vacuum microwave dehydration technology in the food, cannabis, and pharmaceutical spaces currently through a licensing royalty business model.
What's the history behind the company?
Well, the history of the company goes back to the early 2000s, where the technology was originally developed at the University of British Columbia. It took a few years and some capital being raised in the public markets to scale up the technology. And we've truly only been commercial for the past 4.5 to 5 years, in which we've been successful in securing over 20 commercial royalty-bearing licenses with companies large and small globally in, again, the food, the cannabis, and the pharmaceutical spaces.
So you haven't been on for about 2 years, so let's get an update.
Sure. So most recently we've had tremendous success in three primary areas. The first being a subsidiary company which is wholly owned by EnWave called nutraREV Food Co. It's commercialized a dried cheese snack product called Moon Cheese, and we started that as a proof of concept to de-risk the technology and hopefully increase the adoption rate. So fast forward to today, it's now on pace to do in the mid-teens of millions in Canadian dollars in revenue this year. Has a gross profit margin of about 50% and an EBITDA margin of about 30% on that product line. So what started as, again, a proof of concept has now become a meaningful contributor to our financial statements. The other two areas would be cannabis. Our technology, which can dry cannabis in less than 1 hour, as opposed to multiple days in your traditional air-dry rooms, offers a significant value proposition to the industry. We were successful in signing a license with Tilray. They bought 2 large machines from us, and we're right now papering some sub-license agreements with several other companies. We hope to propagate that industry and become the gold standard. And lastly, in the food space. So we have been successful in pragmatically growing out that portion of our business. Most recently, we signed a commercial license with Arla Foods, which is the 7th largest dairy company globally. They'll be launching a commercial product in January 2019. We're also working with companies that include Calbee, one of the great snack companies of Japan, Nestle, working with the U.S. Armed Forces to develop their military ration program. So we've been very busy the past 2 years.
My next question is, what's your competitive advantage?
In crude terms, we're better, faster, cheaper than the incumbents, which we would classify as being freeze drying and air drying. So if you can offer a company the opportunity to produce a high value, high nutrient content product at a lower cost, that's attractive.
Competitive landscape, anybody out there doing anything near what you're doing?
Well, not currently. Not currently. There are no other vacuum microwave technology companies that offer the same scale and reliability. That being said, as we improve as a company and enjoy more successes, I'm certain that other companies will try to replicate what we're doing. So we need to be aware of that and do our due diligence. And if a competitor emerges, strategically plan for acquiring them or taking them out in one way, shape, or form.
Target market?
Well, target market includes, again, companies big and small in the global food, cannabis, and pharmaceutical industries.
What's the shelf life?
Well, shelf life of any product is predicated on the moisture content once it's being dried. So, again, our technology is incredibly efficient at removing moisture, and shelf life can typically be 1, 2 years or more, depending on the quality of packaging of the products.
What's your background?
My background is in business and marketing. I'm also a CFA, so I bring business acumen and strategy to our company and rely on my team members in engineering and food science to provide us with this wonderful technology that we can go out and create value for others with.
Now, you're a public company, so only tell me what you can, but what are some growth drivers for the near-term future?
So near-term growth drivers certainly would be the continued success of our subsidiary company with Moon Cheese sales, growth in the cannabis vertical for us, more deployment of machines and more licenses hopefully being signed, and then again pragmatic growth with some significant companies in the food space. And as they deploy we deploy the machines and they start those up, the royalty streams will start to build. And as a company, our goal is to create a massive diversified royalty portfolio.
What's your website?
Our website is EnWave.net, so it's ENW.AVE.net.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brent, Charleton, EnWave Corp. It's a publicly traded company on the TSX-V, and the symbol is ENW. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive, coming to you live from the LD Micro 11th Annual Main Event in Bel Air, California, 2018. Brent?
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming on.
Cheers, Shelley.